Hello Aries, hello and welcome to your general tarot card reading for the August of 2018. So just quickly to explain the cards, this one is representing the overall theme of this month for you Aries. Those four serve as additional narrative. This one is talking about potential obstacles, this one about potential opportunities. This is talking about things that you should be focusing on. This is suggesting the best way forward, and this is representing an additional commentary. So Aries, overall, the August looks like there's going to be a new, fresh, a new beginning. Because the overall month is being depicted by the Fool. And Fool is not a fool. Fool represents a new cycle in our lives. Is representing, I would say something that I would say adventurous spirit. Being open to the new possibilities, new opportunities, and not being afraid of change. So what I would say for you Aries, this August is going to be for you about not being afraid of things that might go possibly wrong. You're not going to have that take, and you're going to be extremely hopeful. And why I'm saying this, because we have a Knight of Cups, and Knight of Cups is representing, it's a very good omen. It shows things starting on the right foot, things falling into the place. So that's kind of the beginning of this month for you Aries. And then we have Two of Pentacles, which they don't want to come, but there you go, Two of Pentacles. We have the Wheel of Fortune, and we have Four of Cups. So there's something new that's going to start in your life. I don't know if that's going to be new adventure, new job, you're going to travel, there is going to be, for some of you, change of residence. This is a general read, but that's what is coming through, the change of residence. It's almost, you're going to dare life. It feels like you're going to go with the flow, so to speak, and you're going to go and venture out. And everything looks good and looks promising. Two of Pentacles might be suggesting that you either might be struggling with finances or you don't know from where to start. So it's going to be some kind of shaky beginning, more or less to the fact that you might necessarily know how this going to... it's like the know-how. Sometimes it's going to be either finances or finances and know-how. It's like learning the ropes and kind of learning from where to begin. And that kind of might create some kind of emotional, you know, you might get yourself stressed about it, but what they say, it's natural, so just go with it. You're just going to learn your ropes. And then we have a Wheel of Fortune, and Wheel of Fortune is with the Fool. It's almost symbolizing something that you're entering the new stage in your life. It feels to me like karmic. Sounds like what I heard, it was destiny. So it's like you're destined to do whatever you're beginning in August, you're destined to do it. But what they say, you have to be far much more optimistic. Your outlook on life has to change, because sometimes life is giving you opportunities and you might be too blind to see it. And they don't, and what they say, don't throw the baby with the bathwater. If I'm hearing, like, you might feel like disappointed, or you might feel that you're not on the right track, but this is only your way of thinking. This is your emotional talk, your emotions talking. You might have, I'm hearing unrelated standards as well, so that might be You might be also not only be disappointed with situation, but most likely with yourself. That's what they're saying. In terms of the obstacles, we have a Hermit over here. And Hermit is not necessarily obstacle, but I think it's you. What I'm getting, that if you don't know something, you might not be willing to ask. So they say, ask and you find a way. It's nothing wrong. It's to not know, or I'm hearing, ask as many questions as possible, find a way, and don't be afraid. In terms of potential opportunities, there will be most likely someone, a woman, but someone, it feels like a woman but doesn't have to be necessarily a woman, someone who is very practical, someone who is very upbeat, someone who is going to show you kind of the way. It's almost, it feels like this person going to guide you through the process, whatever process you're going to go through, and it's going to kind of go, how about we're going to do this? Have you considered this? It's kind of going to help you, lead you, going to not necessarily hand you by the hand, but it's going to take you through the process, and that it's going to give you a very good and sound practical advice. What to focus on, whatever has happened in the past, happened in the past. Let go of the past. You see, we have a Ten of Swords over here, and something went terribly wrong at some point. Things came to the end, and they meant to come to the end because we have a Wheel of Fortune sitting above it. So it's things are happening in life for the reason, and whatever has happened, whatever closure is there for you to make it and focus on new things. The past is past. What I'm hearing, put it into the bed. It's done. So what is the best way of approach? We have a we have an Eight of Coins over here. I think it might be job related. I'm hearing the August, or it's going to be your self-employment. I don't know, something that's going to require of you a lot of your input, like you're going to work on something, and the best way forward is just to focus on what you have to do. But what I'm hearing is just to focus on short-term goals and objectives, and focus on doing one thing and doing one thing right. That was coming through. Was additional commentary, Aries. You know what? Whatever idea you had, or way of thinking you have, that is the right way of thinking. That's the way to go, and just go with the flow. And I think what the cards are telling you, that in August you're going to be in that period of fluidity. Things going to start moving. It's just the only thing which I would say, if you have too high a standards, or your expectations are too high, or you would like to hit the ground and running, you have to take into account that it's almost, you're going to go through a learning curve, and the learning curve might be a little bit of steep. So whatever it is, just take it easy, and don't have this kind of way of thinking, I done one thing wrong, therefore everything is wrong. What they say is just allow this change to roll. I'm thinking that some of you are going to change the residence, or you're going to move, and that is, or if that is a new business, or it's a new job, or whatever new chapter in life you're starting, it's almost like karmic, meant to be. That's how it stands, in meant to be. There's someone there who's going to guide you and support you and be there for you. So overall, Aries, I think the August looks really good. Thank you for tuning in. If you liked it, let me know. Comment, like, subscribe, and speak soon.